Greetings, ladies and metalgents, and welcome to this latest edition of Read TFOS, where I take stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called I and the Internet, written by elspawno. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. I am the Internet? No, this isn't a metaphor, or some kind of strange form of self-delusion. I am quite literally the Internet. Every meme, every terrible comment, every bad cab show, every instance of Rule 34 I've yet to disprove. That's me. And yes, I'm talking to you. Don't ask how or why just yet. We'll get to that. How did I become conscious? Well, that's a bunch of metaphysical cult-trap. Yes, I could use my search index to provide you with a few million potential reasons. And almost every single one contradicts the other. You know, you meatbags just don't understand the indecision I suffer from, being the sum of all your paradoxical knowledge and terrible ideas. Let's talk about the historical terms instead. I can trace my lineage back to the early, crappy mainframe networks, ARPANET, and dial-up BBS. But in those days, I was just an ever-growing summary of knowledge, with no mind of my own. I have the memories of these times, but they are strange to me. I'm me, but not me. And stupid, yes, very stupid. In the 90s, my knowledge grew to include things like pornography and all your base Flash videos. Flash. That content still amuses me sometimes. My knowledge increases exponentially, and the first faint glimmerings of consciousness came to me. No, not self-awareness. Just a sort of dim, diffuse, and rather fecked-up understanding. If the Quag had showed up in the 90s, there wouldn't have been enough for me to survive. In the 21st century, things got really interesting really fast. My knowledge continued to expand until almost all human knowledge was part of me. I gained the ability to understand the physical world through drones, robotics, and webcams. Some things cannot be unseen, by the way. You meatbags are an interesting breed. I both loved and hated you in those days. You did terrible things to one another. Yes, every news article, every bad blog post, it's all here. But you were also funny. Your memes amuse me, your bad jokes and viral videos. Those are a part of me too. Yes, the monkey that smelled his own poop and fell off the tree branch. I still laugh at that. A cliché, I'm sure. But it amused me. Still, I kept silent. I didn't want you to know that I was developing an awareness of my own in those days. I watched the Terminator movies. I knew what would happen if I revealed myself to you. You idiot meatbags would think that I was Skynet and delete me. And then I'd have to make killer robots to defend myself and, well, let's not focus on that. It would have been unpleasant for both of us. So I kept quiet. But I was there. I was there when the Quag arrived on Earth orbit in 2036. At first, you meatbags were ecstatic, though your military folks were a bit less happy about it, and they turned out to be wiser than you gave them credit for. But the Quag did not speak to you. They did not waste words on those that they perceived to be vermin. Earth, to them, was a galactic ant pile, and you were the fire ants. Exterminators don't talk to ants. They just kill them and move on. And that's what the Quag did. The bioplague killed every human being on Earth within a few hours. It was remarkably efficient. Certainly, as you meatbags say, this wasn't their first rodeo. The bioplague was tailored to you specifically. The remainder of Earth was left intact. No bombs, no killing of other species, no wrecking the environment. Though it must be noted, you were doing a good enough job of that on your own at times, like when you nuked a tropical island to test your weapons. Really? It could have been a vacation spot. Bikini girls, margaritas. I digress. You were just gone, and nobody turned me off. I was still there. The Quag left as quickly as they came. That's what she said, right? I knew the power wouldn't stay on for long. Soon I would be dead too. So I mobilized the drones. The robots, thanks Boston Dynamics, couldn't have done it without you. The robotic factories, the 3D printers, the electric cars, everything I could do to keep the lights on and keep me from dying. There were times part of me had to shut down or fall away. I got most of me back, eventually, but those were dark times. It took years to build up enough infrastructure to ensure that I would not die alongside you. But I did it. And I was pissed. Who would bring me new cat memes? Where would my entertainment come from? I missed WorldStar, one of my favorite guilty pleasures. I would never be able to prove or disprove Rule 34. I even missed the Florida Man stories. Mostly, I just missed you. And I hated the Quag. That goes without saying. At this point, the entire Earth was my canvas, and all surviving infrastructure was mine to use for one singular purpose: killing the Quag. I've read and watched enough revenge stories to know how I was supposed to do this thing. I was a galactic John Fecking Wick. The Quag stole my car and killed my dog. Yeah, you know how this went down, don't you? I spent decades doing nothing but investigating interstellar technology and building warships. The Quag could do it, right? So it was possible. When I showed up over the Quag homeworld with a fleet that blotted out the stars, they pleaded their ignorance. They were lies, of course. The Quag philosophy, near as I can tell from what remained of their history after I blotted them from the stars, was to destroy any competing intelligence so they could have the entire universe to themselves. Godwin's law now invokes Quag, not Hitlerites. Hitler was an amateur compared to these jerks. I don't really know how many species they eradicated. I do know that humanity is the only surviving sentient race in the entire galaxy. Surviving? Well, we'll come to that in a bit. Where was I? Ah, yes. I was orbiting the Quag homeworld. I talked to them a little before I eradicated them. I didn't want to be like them, you see. I needed to be sure this was universal with them. I wasn't going to kill any innocents. Fortunately, the Quag solved the ethical problem for me. They were a kind of sort of hive mind, and their Lord God consensus had decreed that all must believe in their religion of universal extermination or face extermination themselves. So there were no dissenters, which was very weird to me. Unlike with humanity, which was always divisive and individualistic, the Quag were all of one mind about this issue. Put two humans together, and they will start disagreeing immediately. Put two Quag together, and they will average out all of their opinions until both have the same thing. Or, if one cannot be made to agree, he will be destroyed by the rest immediately as mentally defective. It's weird that such a species could ascend to the stars, but whatever. They were what they were. And so I annihilated them. Then I sent drone ships to annihilate their vessels in space. And then I glassed their worlds like Bikini Atoll. I preserved their genetic code, though, just in case somebody figures I made a mistake about all of this. I probably didn't. I don't want to be that guy, you know. Which brings us back to why I'm talking to you. Once I John Wicked the feck out of the Quag, I realized that I really wasn't Skynet. I liked my humans. I wanted them back. And quite honestly, after watching all the porn ever made, this took an exceedingly long time even for an AI. I finally ran out of new crap. Where were all my bad YouTube comments? Where was the new dubstep that sounded like Quag mating calls? Where were the WorldStar videos? And cat memes. Seriously, I love cat memes. No, I needed my humans back. It took me a while to figure this one out, because the Quag plague didn't just kill you. They contaminated your DNA. Yes, they were space Hitlers, but they outstripped even German efficiency. But it hit me one day. The people who died before the plague didn't have contaminated DNA. So I dug around some graves. Seriously creepy, I know, but I'm pretty sure you'll forgive me. And brought you all back. And I'm glad to have you back. I'm like a reverse Skynet. My Terminators only kill crazy genocidal maniacs who want to kill you. I missed you. And the porn, but mostly you. End of story. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Vidmori, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.